Welcome to King George V Park here in Glenorchy. I assure you that is the scene you're looking at here from our camera. It's not the 1980s fog bowl between the Chicago Bears and the Philadelphia Eagles. It is not that Canberra FFA Cup qualifying final from the other month. It is still KG5. It is exceptionally foggy here in Glenorchy, and indeed all around Hobart. The drive in here wasn't the easiest one I've had for a Friday night football game in my life, but nonetheless, we are here. The game is still on. Well, probably before we get to anything about team sheets and the matchup, probably should just give you a quick run through of what might happen here on this foggy evening. Pretty much as long as the match officials can see one end to the other, sideline to sideline, goal to goal, we're good to go. If they deem they can't, there will be a 20-minute rest to let the fog roll over, as it might be, and then they'll be back to going. So at the moment, we are good to go here at KG5, and with that, we'll get the home team of the Glenorchy Knights there for you on the screen. In goal, number 1, Dimitri Nesta. He made that spot his own after a bit of chopping and changing at the start of the season. Nick Naden put on a good assist last week here against the Lions. Tyler Harrison, Jade Clay, Samuel James will all probably play in defence. Thomas Young's interchange between centre-back and centre-mid. He did a pretty good job there last week. Luke Warrener as well. Callan Griffin will come in to the midfield. Alex Lazinski, Big Albie, big slice of cheese favourite, will lead the line, you would assume. Declan Brown, you'll notice in between there is no number 18, Callum Brown. Did his suffered a ligament injury last week, and we believe is out for the season. That is a crushing blow for the Knights, as his, brief spell in the NPL this season was something to behold. Some great goals, particularly the ones against Devonport. But we won't be seeing him much for the rest of the season. And rounding out the starting 11, Diego Gutierrez Chavez, the import. On the bench, Ryan Backhouse, Jake Stewart, the Shermanator, the Sherman Tank, has inserted himself onto the substitutes bench here. And we see a bit of player coach setup that we love here at Slice of Cheese. Aaron Azamani and the backup keeper, Lachlan Hart. That rounds out the Glenorchy Knights side, and who we're watching on screen doing their nice little circle running drill. The Hobart Zebras playing in their pink kit tonight here, which I tell you what, if they go in that far corner, it might actually disappear from the viewing spot here up in the grandstand. Going through their lineup, the keeper, the Kiwi Sammy Watman, the Golden Tonsils of Ryu Yonezawa. Tommy Little gets back into the starting lineup. Was a late withdrawal from the match last week, as well, if you believe David Smith, as was half their team, seemed to be a late withdrawal. Jan Harutza, who he'll partner at centre-back, Geordie Muller, Stone Cold, Riley Dillon, Jaden Hay. Lukey Hugesloot is here tonight. No Greek Sunday to worry about for him. Friday night football means his availability is pretty strong. Matty Pace, and then Matthew the Colonel Sanders up top. To be fair, that is probably pretty close to Hobart Zebras' perfect 11 if you were to draw it up on paper. No Nicky Edwards out there. Dwayne Walsh, could argue, could be in as well, but that is as strong as the Zebras have looked in quite some time. On the bench, Jimmy Ackley, Dwayne Pipe Walsh, Simon, I'm going to assume that's Stankovic, Samuel Jones, and the backup keeper, Nathan Reid. We are nearly underway here at KG5. These two historic rivals been battling it out in league competition for 60 years now. Obviously started as Glenorchy, Croatia, and Hobart Juventus. Will we see them back in those names next year after the decision made today? Who knows, as we're underway. And it will be Glenorchy Knights kicking off to the KG5 house end, and that's intercepted by Sunday McEwen. He's got Sanders and Pace up ahead. Has one shot, goes again. Nesta fumbles it. Sanders! 12 seconds is what we'll have that one down as the Colonel pounces early on. Could we say Dimitri Nesta didn't see it? Who knows, but that is a fumble. And after what we think is 12 seconds, Sanders has put Zebras in front. That's a very, very quick start for the Zebras. I'll admit, I was one of those people that missed Liverpool's first goal in the Champions League final. If you tuned in late like I did, there it is again, fumbled by Nesta. And Sanders in the 6-yard box. He's not going to miss that. Kick off already is all happening at KG5. Watman, well, he's found a little better than his counterpart Nesta there, clearing that one away. Harrison heads it on. Lazinski forward through to Brown. Harutza clears. Dillon has his pass charged down. As that one's cleared out for a throw. Lazinski cleared away from Dillon. Lazinski, luckily Big Albie is easy to spot in these conditions, and fortunately the ball's been going to him a fair bit in the first couple of minutes. It's Harutza out to Yonazawa. Bobbling ball to Watman. Stoney clears it down the line. Pace not able to do that. We saw Nesta be at fault for one of the goals last week as well against the Lions, where he came out to clear, didn't, and Turner managed to get in front. I want to say that one's probably on the keeper on this occasion as well, as Griffin gets the ball under. Out to Warrener. Good chasing down there from Pace. Thank you, Warrener. Here's this one forward. Young beaten out in the air. Good touch there from Gutierrez. Chavez throws the step over in for good money as well. Naden couldn't get the return ball. And that one's missed Hugesloot, and Griffin, who's just set himself in front of the back four of the Knights, playing as that shielding role. Out wide was, I believe, Brown. Luckily, everyone, no tactical surprises sprung by the coaches here tonight, as that may have done this commentating job no favours, as it's rolled out for a goal kick. After that blistering start for the Zebras, things have just settled down a tad, starting more like you see most football matches starting. It's almost like Knights have just had a one-goal handicap thrown against them, as Watman's bobbling goal kick does find Sunday. A harassment there from Gutierrez Chavez. Warrener, pace to deal with. Him and Nesta just about do enough. It's cleared. Out to touch. As you may have already noticed after 3.5 minutes, just my not very dulcet tones of Paul Hunt here tonight at KG5. Commentator unavailability, throwing out everyone else. I'm sure they're all tuning in from the comfort of their warm and cosy houses, as Hugesloot, Muller wins that one in the air. Yugi gets a foot in, falls to Pace, goes towards the back post. McEwen hadn't quite got there. He'll charge down to keep it in. Sliding, I'll take the ref's word that that stayed in. McEwen jinking one way, then the other. And eventually concedes the foul. Guess the other out for the Knights that we didn't get to earlier is that of Matthias Toghill. Not sure what's let one of the greatest beards in the NPL out here tonight, but he was watching the Challenge League game earlier and had showed no signs of competing tonight. That's all the way back to Watman. Harutza, he's put that a little bit out in front and just got there in front of Naden, did the big check centre back. Not a whole lot of options to aim for. Sanders is dropping very deep to collect the ball. He might have to go back to the keeper. Given away, that's a shirt tug and a half. Not called. Well, Nick Naden has been absolutely robbed of a decision there. That was as obvious a slice of cheese as I've seen this season. And as James clears that one. Not sure if we'll have time for a replay of that, but Sanders had a hell of a mount of Naden's shirt. It's Tommy Little. Is it back to the keeper? Watman's probably had the most touches so far in the opening 5 minutes of anyone. Getting on the ball is Hay, searching ball in the Pace direction. Cleared by Naden. Hugesloot. Now Sanders rising high, just wins it. Ahead of Harrison. Looks like Jade Clay slide in at centre back. You usually see him at full back. Had the option of moving Young back there, did Sherman. Elects to have the experience of Jade Clay. Yonezawa to Muller. Little with a nice little dink to Dillon. Doesn't come off that time, and Stone Cold. Way back to Watman. Will we see Stone Cold get any of the typical Knights treatment we sometimes see dished up in montage videos? As that one's turned over to Brown. Heavy touch. Brown trying to run past the defence, and he's won his side a corner, I believe. Yes, he has. First corner of the match goes the way of the Knights. I'll take an absolute blind guess at who's going to take this corner. Whilst he zooms in, and luckily the 22 of Gutierrez Chavez appears as he places the ball down. American puts it into the mixer, over the head of Clay, falls at the back post to James. Immediately charged down by Muller. Now McEwen, heavy touch, Griffin has the chip. Even further out than where Riverside's import striker Chris Wademan scored from here last week. Altman managing to see that one the whole way. Hay given away cheaply to Chavez. James Sherman not happy with the perceived faffing of Gutierrez Chavez to get that under control, urging it to be played forward quickly. Lazinski with something in there on Jan Harutza. Maybe some of the Knights players just remembering Harutza's challenge on the wiki in their last contest here. A free kick away of the Zebras. Two of the more vocal coaches in the league on the sideline. David Smith's gone to the away bench for one or possibly the only one of two times this year, and I can still hear him from the far end of the grandstand as Gutierrez Chavez heaves it. Naden. Harutza out to James. He's got runners if he wants to, one of whom is Griffin. As Declan Brown ahead, lets it run. That one well tracked from Dillon. There's that fog coming off the Derwent. Becomes more prominent on that side of the ground. It looks like Nathan Codes just halting play, mashing the ground angrily there. There's Sunday McEwen. I hope that is not the sign of something more serious that'll see his day done early. On the bench for the Zebras, you've got Dwayne Walsh. Jimmy Ackley would potentially be another option as well. Don't know a huge amount about Jones or Stankovic, the younger members of the Zebras lineup. Also just concerned about how warm these Zebra subs are, as Harutza stealing in there. And it's clearly happened behind play. Yeah, there it is. He just pulls up with no one around him in the slightest. Does Sunday McEwen. As who I'm now going to dub NPL Tas's greatest player, Jordan Scott, delivers us a hot beverage. Absolute man of the people. The Zebras managed to clear that one. Warrener can't quite find a teammate. Calls for a foul there. It was a bit too much from Young. Eventually given the way of the Zebras. Hugh Sloot. He surely pulled away his Knights player there, and indeed that's been given. Takes something for Samuel James to go to the ground like that. Knights content to keep possession from the free kick. Interesting how that Harutsa v Lazinski matchup will define this game, as that's a dicey back pass. Just got out by Clay to Warrener. Lazinski went short, it's gone over his head. And Naden didn't fancy coming to get that one, as the substitution has been made, and that is the Dwayne pipe coming in on the far side. But he hasn't got near the ball yet, as Harutsa just gets in front of Lazinski. And clears that one out for a throw, as now we'll just throw a bit of wind in tonight's action as well, just to really spice up the evening. Football Taz flag behind the goal, blowing a fair bit. As he stayed onside, I didn't think that was onside there from Brown. In his defence, he wasn't really expecting that one to come to him. Long ball, straight to the feet of Harrison. Looking wide towards Naden, who got the chest to it, but couldn't quite keep it under. And whilst we're commentating on the fog, and it's not great from a viewing perspective, there's not too much out there to prevent passing on the deck. It's a pretty slick surface out there. Licked on by Sanders to Hughes-Sloot. Thought he was going to hit it first time. Nice one to Pace, who puts it up and over. And that'll be a goal kick, I believe. Yes, it will, from Cope. He's actually decided to change his mind there, Cope. Went to the goal kick first off, and then let the linesman overrule. I sort of both hit it at the same time as Warrener and Pace. I do think Warrener got a bit on it. So a corner it will be. Almost look like they're just, well, like a smoke machine in from the nearest house at Anthill Street there. Zebra's good numbers up at the corner, just the two holding back as this one goes low towards the near post and it's cleared first time. Have to be wary from these corners. We saw Callum Brown turn defence into attack in about 10 seconds here the other week against the Strikers. They do station Declan Brown was the lone target up top when defending a corner. Pace trying to turn away from Warrener. He's done well to keep it in, and he's completely unintentionally kept that in. Lazinski. Little just putting his foot on the ball. Hey. Harutsa under pressure from Naden, who gets in first. Naden now trying to charge down. Lazinski hands it the wrong way. And David Smith storming out his technical area. Not happy with that pass given to Harutsa, and to be fair, that's 2 or 3 times. They've tried to pass it around the back. Naden's sat off initially and then charged forward at a great rate of knots. And it's a tactic working well in the first 14 minutes. Sanders did well to get that ball forward. Pace is in here if Hughie can find him, and he does. Walsh is at the back post, so's Hughes-Sloot. Pace still going. Warrener did really well just to hold his run. Really good fullback play. We'll see the Zebras win a corner. So have a look again. Harutsa has a look, but he's just waiting on it as well, just on his heels. Naden has got some good wheels on him. And he'll gain confidence from doing that. The corner swung in towards the back post. Knights, I believe, headed that clear. Referee Nathan Code, who's a good 70 yards closer than I am, has given that a corner, and I will trust his word. Just a sea of bodies at that back post. A Zebras player will take this corner. Goes near post. Cleared away before it could get to Hughes-Sloot, who's Bright green wheels doing the treat here this evening. It's Griffin. And on the charge, I think that's going to be not quite a Knights throw-in. I thought that'd come off the thigh of the drain pipe. Throw-in taken long down the line. Sanders helping it on. Walsh is quick, but not quite that quick. Nick Naden's in a good pocket of space, and that's where Nesta elects to go. Gets the flick on in front of Yonezawa. Harutza to the back of Hughesloot. Pace. Is Sanders onside? No. Copra right in front of that one. He almost ran to that ball, Sanders, while staring the assistant referee down. Almost expecting him to put the flag up. Long ball in the Lazinski direction. Doesn't get over Hay. Hughesloot, who appears to be playing the further forward of that midfield trio for the Zebras. And Griffin. Racing in short to Brown. Turned over to Walsh. Hell of a lot of turnovers in this game. Almost unforced as well. In terms of unforced errors, being offside. Another one there for Sanders. So after that initial flurry in the first 15 seconds, a whole lot of goal-scoring opportunities. As Clay goes long down the line, Harutza with an unconventional trapping of the ball. Yonezawa, Hughesloot just gets enough on it. Sanders turns and goes. It's Muller in a foot race with Nesta. An experienced keeper gets there first. Can he go again? Can Muller? He's in behind. He's got one in the box. Can't quite find anyone. And the Knights just about clear. Yonezawa missed that one and let Lazinski in. Naden. First time ball. Brown spotted that before Little did. Gets in front. Good defending from Little, turning him the other way. Griffin to Lazinski. Harutza likes that one into touch. Sherman getting some instructions for his fullbacks. A bit more confidence in pushing on. It's James. Goes to Lazinski. And that's a goal kick. It is. We're 19 minutes down here at KG Fog. KG Fog. There's a great name for tonight. Completely unintentional, that too. It was Nesta. Watman, I should say, plays it short to Little. This time it goes long, and Pace temporarily the shortest target man. Can't quite win the ball. And it's just been really difficult at both sides in this first 20 minutes to string more than 3 passes together. Yonezawa to Sanders. Naden and Yonezawa battle for that one. Warrener. Acrobatic clearance to Muller. Naden won't give up the fight and wins that one. Lazinski. Good ball towards Brown. It stayed onside. Goes the return to Naden. Harutza recovers quickly. Griffin does find Brown. Gutierrez Chavez coming forward. So is Naden, who's in a good pocket of space. Naden tries to get past Yonezawa. Bodies up. Still going is Naden. And Yonezawa does exceptionally well. Sanders. Clay manages to win the throw-in. The Knights do look quite dangerous on the break here this evening. Lazinski just peeling off the centre-backs. This is sometimes leaving Brown and Naden the numbers against them. But if they can get through the channel, or the gaps between the centre-backs and the full-backs, they are looking dangerous as Hughesloot to Yonezawa. Challenge, and it's the Knights who come away with it. Now James has got space to run into. Goes to Brown. Pushing on is Gutierrez Chavez, but he goes back to the centre back. Switch of play is on here. Oh, I don't think that's going to be quick enough as that's hit behind Clay. And Warrener down the line. Lazinski. Naden. Warrener. Hay sets it short for Little. An agricultural clearance in the end. Only returns the ball to the Knights. Brown, lovely ball. You could see the idea. Tom Young bursting forward from the centre mid. And fall into the grateful arms of Watman. I thought wanted to take that short. Long towards Clay. Under no pressure at all. The Knights centre back. Yonezawa. To Harutza. Watman. Zebras, whilst not going anywhere, at least stringing a few passes together. It was Muller. Just about gets it in front of Big Albie. Now Sanders. And he had Dylan on the overlap there. Did the Colonel. This time Dylan will get it. Stone Cold Riley Dillon, whose name we haven't had to call the whole lot here tonight. Maybe forgetting he's there, his teammates on that side of the field. It's Little. And he's put that one straight down the middle. Right to Nesta. It sums up this half, I think, that pass. There's Clay into the feet of Lazinski. Harutza gets in front. Hay. Gutierrez Chavez gets in front. Naden making a diagonal run. He's got space to come into Gutierrez Chavez, but isn't going anywhere particular. And get it back to Young. Back to the American, who whips it towards the back post. And two Zebras will see that one out. Sanders up front all alone. Goes back to Dylan, but eventually falls to Naden. Nick Naden, 4 Knights players in attack, but that's turned over to Hughes-Luke. Sanders plays the 1-2. Is Walsh onside? I think Warrener may have just played him on. Doesn't matter nonetheless. It was Griffin. Plays it straight to Hughes-Luke. Chip ball to pace. It's a delightful ball. Gets in front of the keeper and makes it 2-0 on the counter-attack. And the Zebras pounce. And it's Matty Pace. Good set-up play from Hughes-Luke as well. And it's Pace punishing the Knights. And whilst they've only really had 2 shots on goal so far here this evening, the Zebras are 2-0 in front. Have a look at that lovely little dink pass from Hughes-Luke. Just pitched that well, like a perfect sandwich. Pace. Well, didn't even need an extra few centimetres of height to win that one in front of the keeper. Makes it 2-0 for the Zebras in the ascendancy. As we are back underway. Knights were really building into that game, into this match, the last 10 minutes or so. We'll see if that takes the wind out of their sails. It's a 2-2 draw between these two sides last time they met in the league. A much sunnier day that one was. It's Warrener. Heads it as far as Yonezawa. Chavez spies the run of Brown, who's got the one-on-one with Dylan. Wins the header. Called. Howls for in the back. Not given. The Knights bench is ropeable with that decision, or lack of thereof. And now the Zebras have got a 4v4 here temporarily. Good ball out to Pace. Hughes-Luke wanted it. Now Walsh wants it. Walsh riding into the box. Sanders onside. It's eventually blocked. The Knights at 6s and 7s. At the back. Now having a chat with Code about where the decision was earlier. We'll have another look. Brown's underneath it. He certainly cops a push from Dylan. Directly in the back. Another one the Knights will feel slightly aggrieved about. And it's Zebras who have the corner. Hugh Sloot knocks it back into the mixer. Volley towards goals blocked. Walsh. It's Harutza. Tries to go back out to the corner taker and makes it as far as Dillon. Cuts inside, but Griffin snuffs that one out. Going again at the Zebras. They'll do well to keep the pressure dialed up here, and they do, and it's flicked on from Hugh Sloot. The flag had not gone up, so it's a goal kick. And maybe might have been a better chance than it seemed at first glance for Hugh Sloot there. Didn't have anyone really around him. And the Knights, they need to make something happen here pretty quickly, as Zebras have got themselves a lead that I think they'll feel confident about protecting, as Naden fires that one into the boot of Harutza. Clearly, Zebras fans in that far corner, as the ball retrieval wasn't terribly quick. It'll be Warren up. Over the head of Young, falls to Naden. Muller gets it to Sanders. That's Pace or Yonazawa, elects to go to Pace. Hugh Sloot, rather dramatic in his attempt to win a free kick there. See a whole lot in it. Yonazawa with the header, Pace. Going up against Griffin, beats one, now tries to get it the long way around Warren up. And he just about does. I think he's won his side of corner there, and he has. Matty Pace doing some good work down the wing. Zebras certainly winning the corner count here this evening as well. Walsh is offering the short corner. Seems like they'll ignore that and go into the box over the head of Nestor, cleared off the line. I think that was by Samuel James. That's why you should always have someone on the back post. Yonazawa looks it to Hugh Sloot. And to Watman. Naden provides some pressure and does cause a rash clearance from Watman. Wondering where his players were. The answer is nowhere within 30 yards of that pass. Completely abandoned their left wing at that particular moment. Clip down the line in the Lazinski direction. It'll fall to Brown anyway, as Harutza goes the up and under. He's done well to get that under control as Gutierrez Chavez. Naden. Return ball to Warrener. Harutza's coming across. Here's the last touch as that stayed in. Might be a corner ball. It certainly will be. Very difficult to see the linesman's flag there on the far side. Big Declan Brown. It's a take. He's got 5 in the box to aim for as Brown, and hits absolutely none of them. Almost out on the full there from Declan Brown. There's, I don't know about anyone else, but the fog in the far corner seems to have got a little worse, whereas, the left-hand corner and the right-hand corner seems to have got a lot better. I'm not quite sure what's going on here at KG5. On at the car park end, having a real difficulty to see here from the grandstand. I think everyone would like to get this one to half-time, as that's fallen towards Hugh Sloot. Sanders flicks it on. Now James has hit that, I assume, out of play. That sort of Gabriel Marcage Memorial fence kind of area is probably the foggiest part on the pitch. Pretty much use watching from a ladder there at the moment. It's a throw in taken long. Cleared out wide towards Brown, who seems to have temporarily swapped sides and is going to have a run at Yonezawa for the time being. The Golden Tonsils comes up trump on this occasion. Muller. Warrener. Oh, couldn't quite get that one under control because Brown had a place to run to. Went the nutmeg on Yonezawa. Not coming off on this occasion. So we hit the half-hour mark. Brown. Muller. Young has come up hobbling on that occasion. Harutza throws in a cheeky step over. And will win his side a goal kick. As Ottman, I do think he wants to play the short goal kick a fair bit here tonight, and they've left it again, Harutza. And I'll tell you what, it'll be pretty ropeable at least, just sort of sitting on his heels, waiting for the ball to come. And he's got a pacey winger charging at him, but that's a good ball from Hugh Sloot. And plenty of space. Here's Dillon, goes central, bubbled again by Nesta. Does just enough to claim it on the second attempt. Rolls it out to Harrison, who hasn't had a whole lot to do, and cheaply given away. Walsh, first time ball. Sanders is going to try and around the keeper, but hits the side netting. The Colonel, well, he scored from a yard out earlier. That one a slightly more difficult chance on the angle. Knocks it around the keeper. Just hitting the side netting, but you'd expect someone with his goal scoring record to hit the target on that occasion. Still the leading goal scorer in the competition, despite Miles Barnard's best efforts over the past few weeks. We'll see if that gap gets any tighter as the season progresses, as Walsh knocks it forward. Sanders can't find a teammate. Warren has got plenty of backspin on that one, and it will fall to Naden. Fighting his way through two zebras. He'll do well to play the pass soon, will Naden. Young's free. Lazinski now making the run. Naden's still going himself. He wants to take on the whole team here, Nick Naden. And finally he's stopped on the far side. And the ball is whacked clear. Let's get it back towards the car park end. Clay had plenty of time to find a pass. Finds Young. Goes past one. There's Thomas Young. It's Lazinski and Naden to aim for. It's Naden the direction he goes to. And a difficult height. Little hits that out for a corner. Similar to that sort of 15 to 20 odd minute mark here from the Knights, when they're just starting to build some pressure, and it was at that point that the Zebras got their second. And the Knights get a goal. But their intentions here tonight deserve. As you can see, the ratio of people outside KGV House to inside very much favouring inside here tonight. As the corner taken again towards the back post, headed in the wrong direction. I'm very, very unhappy. Tommy Little has glanced off the side of the head. Now Gutierrez Chavez will stride from one side to the other to take. Allowing me to finish this hot chocolate delivered by, once again, the best midfielder in Tasmania, Jordan Scott. Gutierrez Chavez towards the mixer, over the head of Lazinski, but not Naden, and it's just cleared off his head. Walsh will do well to prevent a throw-in. And Sherman cheekily getting on the pitch there. Wants a bit more urgency from his team here. Walsh with the acrobatic clearance. Pace. Jumps well and gets it to Sanders. Sanders running at Harrison. Tries to go to Pace, who's heavy touch. We'll see that straight to the keeper. Good lightning counter attack. Nipped in the bud there. Oh, Pace's heavy touch as Young flicks on. Naden has got round the back of Yonezawa. It's Nick Naden. Yonezawa coming to recover. Naden trying to turn onto his right peg. Has absolutely no help. I'll tell you what, James Sherman is absolutely disgusted at Luke Warrener's lack of bombing on as the fullback there. I think everyone in the entire ground can hear Sherman at the moment. It'll be another corner to the Knights. Chavez again towards the back stick. Falls out to James, who hits it. Calls for handball. Lazinski has another go. Walsh manages to clear. Now, Sanders mopping up deep in his own half. Will be out for a throw. I'm not even going to begin to speculate on that handball. Would not have a clue. Short throw in taken to Muller and then hit somewhere above 4 metres above the ground height. Now out for a throw in. Again to Geordie Muller. Can the Zebras get a third before half time? Not on this occasion as the Knights have come up with it. Scooted out wide to Yonezawa. It's always interesting these games that Andrew Cooling doesn't tend to commentate. There's always something happening. There was the infamous kick clash between the Northern Rangers and Olympia and their wonderful matching blue and white kits the other year. One of the few games he missed that season. Just one he's missed all year this year, and you only see half the ground. The throw in, I'll guess it's James. Running in behind is Walsh. This time it's cleared for a corner. I haven't got the corner stats directly in front of me, but they're nearly pushing double figures this half. There's certainly been plenty of action in those corner areas of the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, now 6 coming forward for the Zebras. Someone's running out of picture. The corner taken over the head of Hughes. Whack towards goal. Save Nesta. Scramble in the box. Naden hits it into Lazinski. Blocked again. It's at least 3 shots there for the Zebras, and somehow it didn't go in. Dimitri Nesta's reflex save. Certainly the pick of the bunch. It's Clay. Just gets it clear. What a save from Dimitri Nesta. Point blank range, the volley. Just stuck a hand out. Prevented this game from getting just about out of reach. Because I can't honestly tell if the ball was in play then. It's now in the box. How it got there, it could have been sent from Mars for all I know. Dimitri Nesta has ended up with it at the top of the box, using all of his allotted 7 seconds here. Over the head of Walsh. Brown flicks that on. It's Muller. Walsh hits that one straight out of play. No, the Knights have 5 minutes before half-time to nick a goal back. James. Ends it, falls to Lazinski. Player over. It's the direction they go. Sounded like a nick off a Zebras player, and it was, so it'll be another corner here for the Knights. I'm sure there was a game here early in the season between the Zebras where the corner count was pretty enormous. I remember cheering that on at some point. It's Gutierrez Chavez. This time goes towards the near post. Nearly hits the head of Young. Completely fresh airy from James, and then Brown waits on it, which allows pace to get back. Kicks it up the field, curling inwards, allows his team to reset. Griffin and Nesta decide what to do next. To the captain, Harrison. Clay. Chavez, Griffin. Dillon. Well, went straight back to the Knights. Lazinski. Now towards Gutierrez Chavez, who's got a good pocket of space. He has Naden on the overlap. Goes towards Naden, who went the return ball. Eventually whacked clear from Little. James anticipating where Sanders' header was going to go before Walsh. Samuel James. Sizing up the defence. Knocks it back to Brown. Zebra's break could be on here. That's a good long ball towards pace. He's got in between the Knights centre backs and disappears into no man's land. He's about to return with the ball though, and just about cleared from the Knights. Still on the attack. Hobart cleared at the near post. And then cleared again by the Knights to somewhere on that sideline. Could be by the corner flag, could be 30 metres away, who knows. Throw in taken short. Back to the nominated throw in taker. Finally, Yonezawa gets it on the near side. Pace. Went to go the return ball. Will unintentionally fall to Yonezawa. Dinks it centrally and rising high was the Colonel Sanders, who puts it over the top of the bar. Next up, well, the chat from the coaches has gone down a bit as well since that second goal. Sherman talking before the game about wanting pretty determined effort from his side at least. Not sure if he's quite got that. There's Warrener. Heaves it up high. Hughesloot kept his eyes on it the whole way. Young. Muller read his intentions well. He's done well to get that down as Geordie. Yonezawa and goes on the left peg towards Sanders, who I thought it straight offside, and eventually the assistant referee puts his flag up. As we're nearly into stoppage time in this first half. Can't imagine there'll be a whole lot to add on, probably just the customary 1 minute. With Copra on the sideline, doesn't have as much influence over the amount of stoppage time to be played as when he's in the middle. It's Walsh's offside on this occasion. The referee hasn't quite seen it yet. And there we go. Still quicker than a VAR check from the referee in the middle. So we're just about at half time. The Knights elect to take it quickly. Lazinski. It's Brown. There's a wall of pink in front of him. And Little gets the clearance away off the Knights defender. Stone cold Riley Dillon, who hasn't really had a need to do any stone cold moves here in this first half. Been relatively quiet down his flank. There's Muller, pace. Wasn't fooling anyone with that miscontrol. Nesta. Waller's heavy touch will see it out at the halfway line. Lazinski, well in the game the first 15 to 20 minutes. We haven't seen a lot of him as the half has progressed. Now, Young plays it back. Gutierrez is not quite linking up with his teammates. Walsh. Knocks it back and has cleared up the field, which Huxley will run onto. He's in a good pocket of space here as Hughie. The long legs of Huxley get there first, but not quite to Sanders, and that will be the last action of this first half. And it's the foggiest football game I've ever been to. There's the Hobart Zebras 2, Glenorchy Knights 0. The Knight Zebras scoring from pretty much, there are only 2 shots of the half. They had one late off the corner. Now really, they haven't had a lot of action on goal. They've just put it in the back of the net. The Knights promising first, despite conceding that early goal, a promising first 20 minutes, but that second goal really knocked the wind out of their sails, and it was generally fairly lethargic football in the other 20 minutes. Sammy Watman having something relatively assertive to say to the referees, and also so was a Knights player, so that's usually a sign the referees are doing well if either side has got something to complain about. As Sanders with another tap in. Can't miss from there, can the Colonel. He won't have an easier goal all year. And getting his side off to a good start. One of the earliest goals you're likely to see in NPL as well. And then the second is by Matty Pace. Just stealing in, full credit to Huxley for the through ball though. I think he deserves all the credit for that one. And really, outside of those 2 goals, a great deal of highlights. Maybe we just might leave you with more fog shots here at half-time. But anyway, we'll have a customary half-time break, and we'll be back soon. Hobart Zebras 2, Glenorchy Knights 0.
struggling tonight, mate.
Yeah, you're about to see I've used up every comp record to a sporting event I have, which is 2.
What about you, Sean? How are you coming? Pretty vaguely. He said that actually, 1980s.
Okay. Oh, that's all very nice. Yeah. If you did, I would have probably been more inclined to say that.
Do not stop.
I've just been like, yeah, someone's taking the break.
He's still sick. Yeah. What's he got?
Well, I deliberately threw him under the bus in the 35th minute because in 2017, when he got concussion from his old boss Giller, it was talking about he gave him this for somewhere left here in Rangers. And Rangers knew their hope in there. And they were both in blue and white. I was in blue and white stripe.
Yeah.
And I was in blue and white. And then the shorts were both all the same.
That's never going to work.
Jake and I were, as I was saying, and then we weren't calling it Olympia indoor area. We were doing it from where the camera is.
Yeah, that's the spot, yeah.
Yeah, just trying to figure out plans maybe to get later today.
He said said that, if he needed a co-commentator, he said he wasn't going to try and get up for it himself.
Yeah, look, well, I think Jake is wrong, so that would actually give us allow you to be more partisan anyway. They make partisan anyway.
I'll take my thing off.
Yeah, get that brutal one side in like the time best market. I feel like that.
I wouldn't be biased. I do love the bar, but I'll be partially.
Yeah, that's right. About the biggest complication.
What about you? What are your qualifications for years?
Oh, mine, I just don't particularly care for any of it.
Yeah. Surprised that turned out to then half and win it.
Yeah, no, I was about to compliment everyone who's here at one point, and then something happened, and then everyone
Was that gold fastest NPL?
pretty sure South was still. I was thinking about it quite close to that now. Pretty sure South was going to be sending it to out. I even want to be
But to be fair, there was, it was only slightly different. Still shot it really good. So, I was left with 70. No, left with here because Knights, because of the long sound, it's like let's get 60 of them. Get to futsal on Monday night. Dave's like, well, you left 5 minutes before I'm on the draw. The only thing I'll do different is walking a kick to the head. Yeah. It was like, they didn't say it didn't happen, they just like, really kicked my head. That's what Brad Andrews had capitated, which I did see. It was a shocking challenge. Coaches get each other in headlocks, just got on the start.
What I love that, like, you hear the ref explaining the thing, you can hear the players like actually slating, so that means processing, and the coaches is fucking yelling, it's great.
I walked in, shit like brothers, and challenge like that.
Yeah.
The only thing I heard was a nice talking to a Olympian player saying, go play NPL music. And then just walk away. And I'm like, is that an insult or is that like go be better?
Did you hear the bloke up there that after this one? He was too near.
Yeah.
Put in the shift or something.
No, that's the exact moment I walked in. Then the next group was when that happened. Because someone from the winning was there. Best moment of that Metro meeting. It would have been early second half. Jacko's about 8 GB deep. Walks over to the corner flag, like the near corner of Metro. Benny White was taking the corner. Just leaves him. They've been playing against each other for 10 years. Leaves him on the ball.
I wonder what the odds are, even in this weather. Surely you can't recall a time you had weather like this. It's pretty testy. He was just saying how I'm supposed to tell what the phone was from here. Fine.
Winning ticket in the raffles D17. The black ticket. Collected at the bar. D17. Thank you.
Welcome back to KGV Football Park for the second half of this NPL Tasmania game between Glenorchy Knights and the Hobart Zebras. The fog is still here, and it's probably marginally better than it was when we left you about 15 minutes ago. We can now see the far sideline from the grandstand. A few of you out there wondering whether it's legal or how it's still going. We do believe the players are able to see pretty well on the sideline. Just in a slightly elevated position from here in the grandstand, making it a little more deceptive than possible. But the raffle draw has been given E17, and it looks like Walter Pless has won the raffle. And if there is any man more deserving of winning a raffle contest, it is Walter Pless. Absolutely deserved winner. Frankly, everyone out here deserves a raffle prize for being out here in the grandstand on a night like this. There's actually probably more people here tonight, and there has been for a few other NPL games here as well, which is good to see as we're about to get underway for the second half. Hugh Sloot looking it back to the Colonel Sanders for the customary slog down the wing. Cleared by Warrener, just doing a quick scan of the lineup. Knights are certainly exactly the same. Zebras slightly harder to read at the best of times with the white on the pink. Not the easiest again tonight, but they look to be the exact same. Obviously having to make an early substitution. Adam Sunday McEwen going off and Dwayne Walsh coming on. Sunday succumbing to injury, if you missed that earlier on. As the Knights clear it down the line. And again, for those tuning in, just myself, Paul Hunt, here this evening. Andrew Cooling feeling decidedly under the weather. Little. And just to clear it, only as far as Naden. Yonazawa gets the ball back after his throw-in. Tunneled underneath, not called from the referee. Lazinski holding the play up well. And finds Brown. James bombing on as well, creating the overlap. Allows Brown to run inside. Goes again. Wants the foul and gets it from Stone Cold. And he commented he hadn't made a whole lot of Stone Cold-esque challenges in the first half. Just to get the first foul of this second half. It'll be Declan Brown to take. 3 in the wall for the Zebras. 2-4-6 for the Knights, awaiting the delivery. Lazinski and Young likely targets. Brown goes low and cleared at the third attempt eventually by the Zebras. Thought Brown was going to tumble over head first there for a moment, but managed to keep his balance. Dylan thought about the long throw, but pace is running the other way. And he's doing his time to take the throw in, but Hughes-Sloot eventually gets it. Warrener clear towards Yonezawa. Arutza has decided to have and go striding forward, just whacks it into the hip of Pace. Not sure how he's meant to control that one. The ball fall into the arms of Yonezawa to take the throw in. Gets the return ball and heaves it forward. Nesta and Harrison just about doing enough. Nesta on his bike a little bit too much. Samuel James is in a really good pocket of space as Walsh is temporarily out of position. Likes to go to Naden. Lazinski. Cleared by Harutza. Again, first opening few moments are quite similar to that of the first half. Either side really managing to string 3 or 4 meaningful passes together on that occasion. As Hay bumps it up to Sanders, cleared by Griffin. Walsh v James will come the way of the Zebras. Tell you what, Matty Pace doesn't have a lot to aim for there, and Griffin slides in, coming across as Little. Griffin to Muller. Loose pass, Lazinski and Hay bodying up well. Jordy Muller was in a good pocket of space, but they like to go back to the keeper. Hughes-Sloot. Griffin wins that header. Shank clearance from Young. Dillon will do well just to put his foot on the ball for a moment. And that's probably wise. Harrison's going to have a go forward. Telegraph pass towards Lazinski. James. Well, again, yet to count about 2 completed passes in a row here from either side. Naden has a go running at the defence. Loose touch lets in Harutza. Lazinski knocks it out to Warrener, who'll just about keep it in. Oh, not on this occasion. Assistant referee in good position to see that one. Throw in down the line from Yonezawa. Helped on and hoofed. Muller sets Dillon a task. And he's gone the nutmeg on Brown. James, Muller, and it's come off Geordie. Samuel James stealing, I'd say, a good 8 yards for Lazinski. Hay to Walsh. Harrison read that one well. Thumped again towards Sanders to Harrison. Young. It was all over Jaden Hay, just preventing any forward pass. Not terribly happy about that decision. Is Young, but I do think it was the correct one on this occasion. Free kick. It's probably didn't quite get the distance he wanted on it there, Tommy Little. Fell about 15 yards short to where his teammates were. Naden. Can't quite keep it in on the far side. Down the line. Hugheslute, who popped up on the right wing unexpectedly. Even Matty Pace temporarily swapping positions. Charge down, falls into the box shot. Good save, Nesta. Dillon can't keep it in and will win the corner for his side. The throw-in taken from the mysterious far sideline. It's well charged down from Zebras. Both players leading with the studs. And the shot was on target. And Nesta pulling off a good reflex save, moving to his right. It was at a good height for him, but it came quickly, much like that save in the first half. Very good reflexes does Nesta as the ball goes to the back post and over Horutza. Kept in. And eventually Lazinski, well, he'll only manage to find the touch. It was the Zebras who put it out, so the first meaningful chance of this half falls the way of the Zebras. Horutza. As far as Hay, they're doing a very good job at finding Tyler Harrison at the moment. The Zebras attackers, and also now finding the offside flag. Naden starting position behind the defence. Will be check centre back to heave this one forward over the head of Hugheslute, helped on by Young. Horutza hit that high into the sky. Doing well to get the ball down was Muller, but couldn't get the return service. Naden expecting Lazinski to run onto that one was a bit much. It's Watman. And that's to Horutza. He's a bit too far behind there from Hay. Will fall to Hugheslute, who flicks it on. Warrener. Was hoping that would bounce over Little. Young does well. Naden asking for it to his feet, and it's hit right there. Naden can run it Yonazawa if he wants to. He's been held up well. And eventually tracking back in defence for the Zebras. I think I might have jinxed myself there. I was saying that far side's better than it was in the first half. It's not that much better. As now Brown rises high. Cleared by the Zebras. Just getting there in time. Here's Tommy Little. Oh, he's going to temporarily turn into the left wing. Brown. It's a chance to run inside. Lazinski. Griffin. Would build up play from the Knights. Griffin goes over the head of Albie. Eventually thumped cleared by Hay. Pace want to defy Sanders. And Harrison has hit that one up and over the grandstand and into next week. Not sure when we'll be seeing that ball back. Stone cold Riley Dillon not in a great hurry to take this throw. Sanders stuck in a night sandwich. Dillon, he beat one, but then ran out of real estate. Geez, James is really good at stealing 10 yards on every throw-in. Brown to Gutierrez Chavez, who we haven't seen a lot of this half. Naden is in an absolute acre out there. And that's where he goes. Can hit it to Lazinski. Goes himself, Naden. Good save at the back post as Brown. Well charged down from Riley Dillon. Well, the first real shots in anger of this match from the Knights there from Naden. Watman up to the task. Throw in. They're going to try and let that one roll through to the keeper, and eventually Watman claims he wants a willing runner and gets one in Yonazawa. Walsh trying to go ahead. Sanders nearly got the flick. Brown has stayed on side. Dillon under pressure. Young leaning, using his height to his advantage. Cleared by Harutza. Walsh is over there somewhere and battling with Warrener. James, they're going to ask for in the back. Not given by the referee. Now Harrison has space to run into. Something the Knights haven't had a lot of this game. Lazinski wanted the return ball to the centre back. Do love a good marauding centre back run. Brown wins the throw in off Hughes Sloop. The versatile Samuel James. I've seen him pop up on the wing this season. I've seen him start in centre mid. Today at right back for Matthias Toghill, who's out. Geordie Muller just wanting to know if that other ball needed a companion. Not sure how long this will take to get back. Might be quicker to get the other one from the far side. There it is. It's rare you see two in such short succession hit up and over the grandstand. Throw in taken to Brown. Muller. Hughes Sloop just whacks that clear, giving his side a chance to regroup. Long throw in to the chest of Lazinski. Lets that one roll through. They're in here. And it's going to be a shot at goal. Well cleared. Whacked by Griffin. And he's hit that high, wide and handsome. There's Cal Griffin, but the Knights starting to build into this game. And it's a couple of promising opportunities. See, it's Young that was bursting into the box. He shot well blocked, and then Griffin really had to hit it first time with a dangerous backspin. Always hard to keep down. It's another shot off target for the Knights. It's Watman. Oh, he found the feet of James, who just misread it. Now Harrison. Naden. Flicks it on as far as Gutierrez Chavez. Oh, he probably should charge this one down, setting Watman a task. Good press coming from the Knights, but the Zebras managed to play their way through it. They've got space to run into if they want to. It's Walsh getting the ball off Muller. James has the inside leverage and knocks that one out for a throw. They'll wait for Riley Dillon to take. Again, it'll be a Zebras throw in. Really is at the wrong end of the pitch for the Knights at the moment. If they want to get back into this one. Dillon also taking his time, just eking up some precious seconds. He's got a good throw on him, Dillon, but I don't think he's got that good a one from a standing start. And James gets a toe in first. On the return ball did Hughes Sloop. There's just going to be enough real estate and to shepherd that one out. So an hour gone here at KG Fog. Nesta applauds his troops to push forward. Goes to the far side. And it's come off a Zebra's head for a throw. Harutza leaning over his opponent to win that header. Muller. Yonezawa plays it off a Knights player. Once again, we're back to a style of football that's really been what it's been like all game. 3 to 4 passes maximum. Both sides maybe showing why they're not quite in the running for the NPL title this season. Unlike some of the title predictions we saw, most were fairly optimistic and all by fans of the respective clubs. But it's not been the prettiest game we've seen so far this season. Zebras pretty comfortably winning that 4th spot, or the NPL Tas version of the Everton Cup. Knights in a 3-way battle for 5th, just below them with the Lions and Lonnie City. Harrison just had to thump that clear. Naden wasn't anticipating it coming his way. Flick back towards Warrenup. And just to get an extra 3 metres distance on that throw. Zebras content to keep it in their attacking half for the moment. A lovely bit of skill from Pace on the sideline, and there was about 2 fouls in there once he got clear. Set piece opportunity for the Zebras. Harutza and Little confidently stride forward to make their presence known in the 18-yard box. So the fog really only getting worse, if not better. It's a little bit better on this KGV house side, but now it's the right-hand side of the ground that's causing some issues. It was the Zebras only hit that one straight in the wall. Another opportunity from the corner kick. I haven't looked at the stats. I'm going to guess about 14 corners are up to here. Even 6. 13 plus this one, 14. Not a bad guess. B. Dylan to take. Goes towards the near post. Dangerous ball cleared by Naden. Brown. Well, Naden, who cleared that head, is now the one pressing up ahead. That's the kind of urgency Sherman will be very happy with. Interesting to see if he's tempted to go to his bench anytime soon, Sherman. We'll break from that for Hughesloot. Has played in Pace. Walsh goes near post. That's the direction he goes. Leaves it for Sanders. Back to Walsh. Plays the 1-2. One person appealed for handball. That was Hughesloot. No one else thought it was. It's Little. And as far as Warrenup. Hughesloot. Well, an acrobatic effort to get it out to Pace. Lazinski. He get it through to Naden. Muller can't quite keep that one in. And just a reminder of the Knights bench. They've got the coach himself, James Sherman, Jakey Stewart, Aaron Marnie, Ryan Backhouse, and then Lachlan Hart, the backup keeper. So a very attacking bench. Outside of the keeper, Sherman's probably the most defensive of the lot. Lazinski has been in a real battle with Harutza all night, and that was a late challenge, possibly one out of frustration. He hasn't had a great deal of success, has Big Albie. Obviously just coming across from South Hobart at a month or so ago. Pretty agricultural strikers challenge from Lazinski. Still no slices of cheese being dished out this evening either. That hasn't really been looked like it either. Outside of that, maybe that shirt pull in the first 5 minutes on Nick Naden. Would have been a bit early to give one then as well. That's been the only thing cheese-worthy. And Chavez finds Brown. That's it. A trip is a polite way of calling that from Hughesloot. Harrison nearly finds Warrenup. Her pace just got high enough, and it's Knights who look to make their first change of the match. Ryan Backhouse warming up and coming to the halfway line in front of us. Take a stab at, so it'll be either Lazinski or Griffin coming off. We'll see how that plays, but they have a free kick on this occasion, giving them time to make the sub. It'll be Gutierrez Chavez to come off. Maybe not quite used to these conditions back in America. And coming on is Ryan Backhouse, another mid-season transfer for the Knights, coming across from the Zebras, actually. So he gets to play against his former side. See if that puts any extra fire in his belly this evening. So they have got the free kick in a promising area of the Knights. They're going to play it short to Brown, who hits it straight into what was left of the wall. Yonezawa charging that one down. Game does need a burst of energy. Not quite on that occasion coming from the Knights. Orana is going to attempt to cross it in. Beaten out by the Zebras. He's got 4 against him. Eventually, nothing comes about. I don't think Muller's kept it in. The linesman's flag hasn't gone up. They give it towards the Knights. If they are going to have any questionable decisions, on this side of the ground would be great. Lazinski gets the flick on. It's actually cleared by the Zebras, a complete wrong direction. So it'll be another corner in this game. Whilst I'm not an advocate of the short corner, maybe trying something different wouldn't be the worst idea at this point in time. It's starting to hit 7-8 apiece for both sides, as the corner is taken low. And the corner taker knocks it back in. And as far as Watman, is another comfortable collect for the Zebras keeper. He's made one pretty sharp save here tonight, Watman, but the rest could best be described as mopping up at best. Zebras coach Dave Smith might not be terribly happy with the performance, but and the passing and such, but his side hasn't looked terribly tested a lot here tonight. You'd like a bit more crispness, a bit more attacking intent, but since they've gone 2-0 up, they've had 1 or 2 scares and not a lot else as Hugh Sloop manages to fashion a cross in. James clears. Griffin clears it to the halfway line, but that's going to be a Zebras throw-in, as about to go into the 70th minute. And at this point, I think what the Knights are missing on the bench is a Matthew Nowicki just to come in and get his customary crunching yellow card challenge. It certainly stops some people in attendance from turning into icy poles, as Lazinski wins the header. Harutza and Watman, they're just going to take their sweet, sweet time. No one's charging down. Watman is deliberately trying to be frozen as a statue there. I was going to say, most games he'd happily do that for 20 minutes. I don't think he'd do it today. It's good purchase on that one, all right, to the head of Hugh Sloop. Gets it to pace. Over the head towards Walsh. Can he get the seal between Walsh? Hits it wide. Oh, finally got in behind his opposite number. Did the drain pipe. Rolled James. And then on his preferred foot, went to go near post. He's not missed by a lot. But that would probably be another clear-cut chance rather than the off-target it might inevitably go down as. We're setting high standards. Think, well, should have done a little better there. Clay clearly didn't want that ball in the vicinity. And I mean, Zebras, they don't have to have a sense of urgency or anything at the moment. They can just happily take their sweet, sweet time. It really is on the Knights to build something here, and it's simply not happening. Goal kick. Well, he just hit that out on one bounce. There's Watman. James. Back to Harrison. Back to Nesta. Even Sanders, long-time opponents in the NPL. And indeed before NPL Taz. Naden hits it down the line. Hay. To Pace. Crowded out by the entire Knights centre midfield trio. This Brown will do well to lay that one out wide. Back house. Look towards Lazinski, but only finds the keeper. Into the grateful arms of Watman. And some active fans going on behind the goal. That's something Hearing I wasn't expecting to hit. Griffin goes in with Hughesloot. Hughesloot admittedly had made that noise before the ball had actually got anywhere near him, but Pace now charging here. Matty Pace hits it into the wet area. And a good pocket of space on the right-hand side did Matty Pace. Crunching challenge there from Griffin. Kind of went in with shin pads rather than anything, and then it fell to Matty Pace. Got good power on the shot, but always rising. It's now back to live play, and Dylan can't find a teammate as he bombs on. The Knights got to do a little more than that, I'm afraid, if they want to get back into this contest. Yes. Rutzer finds... Oh, falls back to the Knights pretty quickly. Harrison. Walsh man marking the fullback as they run back. And allows Brown a pocket of space. Muller to James. Trying to find Naden, and it does fall to him. Goes towards the back post, just out of Backhouse's reach. He has Warren a short. Goes the nutmeg and keeps it in play. Young nearly gets there. Cleared by Hughesloot. And we'll just use this throw-in to take our weekly reminder for council to come and fix these lights. There's a nice dark patch occurring where that pass is going across. Harrison. Now to James. Naden. Zebras. 10 players back. Just Sanders at the halfway line. They're keeping pretty compact. Hughesloot. Well, he went to whack that to next week and got only Naden's leg. Lazinski has a shot. It's always going wide. Naden still struggling to get to his feet. He did cop a fair bit of Hughesloot then. Let's have a look. Hughesloot's only got eyes on the ball. Doesn't even know he's there. And it's a good bit of his shin. So once again, the Zebras using up all of the clock. I reckon in the last 15 minutes, I reckon they've personally wasted about 3 of them. There's Hay. Finds Muller. Hay with the hopeful up and under. Harrison and Nesta just about do enough. Just making sure they had their lines of communication all okay. As that goes over the head of Young. Naden. Rutzer. Declan Brown wasn't even looking at the ball then. No foul given. It's Clay. Give Warrener a task. There's time to cross it in. Does Warrener. It'll go to Lazinski. Brown wouldn't sit for him. James, heavy touch. And Harutza, well, I think he wanted to find touch there. I mean, he's only found Harrison. Clearly wants to go and switch the play. It's Clay. Well, goes back to Harrison. It's all a bit static. here for the Knights. Almost pedestrian pace at the moment. And Clay has space to run into. Warrener. Met by Yonezawa, so he crosses it first time. And does well to win a corner. After coming to near enough a standstill. The Knights win a corner. As we've been saying it since about the 25th minute mark. I really need to a bit more urgency, a bit more attacking intent. At Fashion 1, maybe 2 chances, but not a whole lot. As that's coming out from the clouds and punched by Watman. Gonna go for the chip as Backhouse. Watman falls on it in a very awkward frog position. Watman straight down the middle. Nesta gave an early call, but didn't quite have that good a pass. Jake Stewart and Aaron Marnie still on the bench for the Knights. Maybe some fresh legs could be an option. They have to try something here. To the Knights, and Naden will be the one to do it. Oh, he's nearly found Brown. He'll get another opportunity. James is overlapping. There's Backhouse out wide. Backhouse probably demonstrating why he tried to get on his right foot there. And it'll be the Zebras that make the next change. Weather not the greatest for spotting the numbers on the back for the Zebras. Hugh Slute's the one on the deck. This last week, I think, due to injury. And he's shaking his head. He's Big Hughie. Good family ties to Croatia to the Hugh Slutes. Tom, former striker for the club, and still knocking around and banging in goals in the social league by all accounts. And there's Luke Hugheslute going to come off. And we're playing a game against the Zebras number. Going to need the help of camera woman extraordinaire Lusty to get that one. I'd say 12. Oh, it's someone I don't recognise. It means it's probably Stankovic. I'm pretty sure that's 12. It will be Simon Stankovic coming on. A very good hearty round of applause. Knocks along. Gets his first touch of the ball with Simon. Nesta clears that one out of play. Luckily, we've had 80 minutes and nothing's gone over the fence, so I wouldn't want to be collecting that in this weather. Stealing in front. There's the Knights, but falls out of play. 80 minutes gone. Zebras try one last ball down the wing towards Pace, but Warrener manages to clear. Just a reminder, we'll have another game for you tomorrow from us here at Slice of Cheese. Kingborough hosting the Warriors down at the Den at 6 o'clock tomorrow with Sanders. She doesn't quite win a corner for his side. It falls to Nesta. The Olympia trying to get within 2 points of the latter leading strikers who are having a well-earned bye. Brown on this occasion steals in. Lazinski and Backhouse trying to make their way there, and it's well cleared by Yonezawa. Cleared by Yonezawa for another corner. He'll be pushing 20 here soon on the corner count. The Knights, can they make something happen? They've had plenty of set-piece opportunities. And this one straight to Harrison's feet at the near post. This one with a bit more loft on it. And it'll fall to Clay, who hits it deflected and in the back of the net. Well, the Knights, we said they needed to find something out of nothing. And sometimes you just need a bit of luck. The deflected shot from Jade Clay makes it 2-1. We'll see who that's come off on replay, as it could be anyone in that box. Well, that has come from nothing. We'll give Jay Clay the goal initially. At some point, the ball comes back into the box. Here we go. There it is. Clay. Hits it. Just comes straight off the back of the Zebras defender. Wearing gloves, so I'll take a guess that's Jaden Hay. I think he's the only one out there with the black gloves on. Double checking, and he is, so we'll let the dubious goals panel sort that one out during the week. Jade Clay definitely hit the shot, and Jaden Hay definitely comes square off where we think the number is on the back of his shirt. So 2-1. Well, the game earlier this season finished 2-all. Are we in for some more late drama? Knights win the throw-in. Hopefully give the side a bit more confidence, just to stride forward. I'll do well to pick someone to charge Watman down. He could take all day. Lazinski will be the one. The unnecessary touching of shoulders there from Halby. Walsh gets a bit more power on that clearance than Watman did. Warrener. As far as Young. Warrener. Lazinski chased down Harutza, who finally leaves that one in the air. Be out for a Zebras throw-in. 84 minutes played. Looks like Aaron Marnie warming up on the sideline for the Knights. Final injection of pace. Could just unlock the Zebras defence as Clay. And I'll tell you what, Sanders has done well to pin the Knights back. He had no idea about that, did the Colonel. Sometimes the best Colonel you get is when you're not expecting it. I'll tell you what, speaking of Colonel, I wouldn't mind some Colonel now just to warm my hands up. It is Marnie preparing to come on. They'll wait for a more attacking opportunity, we think. And here's Brown. Can he roll Muller? Muller does well. Declan, probably the pass of the day out to Naden, who only manages to find Harutza. Backhouse. Has Brown inside if he wants him. Goes to Warrener, who just misplaces that one. Letting it run. Now Clay. Clay will do well to hit Naden, and he does. Good challenge from Dylan. Naden's still going. Not quite fortunate enough to win the ball back. Stankovic charged down by Naden. Young. Out to the other substitute, Backhouse. Back to Griffin. Facing the wrong way. Here's Griffin, so goes back to the keeper. Lazinski would be the target, but he's not currently onside. He is now. That is the direction Harrison goes. Good flick on. Yonazawa. Cleared by Hay. Pace. Manages to find touch. 4 minutes left for the Knights. No one can get the referee's attention at the moment to make the substitution. Brown finds Muller. Warren might do his coach a favour and let it run out. And now they'll have that opportunity. Well, they're going for broke here, are the Knights, which is good to see. 4 minutes left. It's Samuel James coming off. And experienced, pacey legs of Aaron Marnie coming on. They're going to 3 at the back. The third one will be Luke Warrener, so they'll have Luke on the left, followed by Harrison and Clay. Backhouse curls that one. Just had 2 Knights players underneath him, did Watman. Just not letting him bobble that one. Clay with time to size up his options. Finds Naden. Plenty of pink shirts around. Dillon to Walsh. Naden tracking back. That should be Knights ball, and it is. Naden looking in the general direction where he should be. Clay got a good long throw on him, does Jay Clay. Only finds Dillon. Sanders. Walsh. And if they play this well, they've got good space to run into on the far side to the Knights. And Warren uses it well. Brown is making a good diagonal run. Instead, well, he still looks in that direction, but it's all zebra shirts for the moment. Good chasing down from Young. Backhouse. Waits for some support. One is Brown. Finds Naden, who's got a one-on-one with Dillon. Cal Griffin getting the furthest forward we've seen him get in a while. He'll keep it in. Oh, I think that may have run out. No, it hasn't. Lazinski. And he's charged it down. It'll be a goal kick. And another opportunity for the Zebras to waste some time. Won't waste time, but take it slowly. Slow to get up. It's Geordie Muller. Great to see him run out. Another full 90. Often see him come off various injuries that are hampering his season, and indeed last year. High in the air, Young. Stankovic, Muller. Good ball to Walsh. Charging down is Harrison. And that'll leave a mark if in the morning for Harrison. Sliding on this artificial turf. He's got plenty of distance on that. Both coaches making tactical changes at this late stage. Half of Harrison just suffering from cramp. Trying to get it out before they need the physio. They don't want him to come off at this late stage. Sanders bodying up to Griffin. Goes the back heel. Done well to win it with Muller. Not going to the corner flag is Sanders, but he's won his side a throw in. 90 minutes gone. Zebras clinging on to victory. Dillon. Nowhere to run, so decides to try and win a corner for his side, but can't. Harrison. Long ball to Lazinski, over his head, Harutza. Arnie was running in, nearly run out of real estate. Young. Dillon. It's a pretty bang average slide challenge there. Dillon was pushed initially. It was that next challenge that from Lazinski that was not the best, I'll admit. I was looking to see if the referee was going to give the Dillon foul. So I didn't quite see what Albie actually did. Just a talking to on this occasion. And he's certainly got a push in the back there afterwards. He didn't get a lot of him. As we're back to live play, the Zebras are down in the corner. Dillon wins another corner. They got that goal, the Knights, but they haven't really been able to keep knocking down the door of the Zebras' defence. Seems more like a consolation rather than anything. There's Walsh. He'll go straight to that corner flag as well, and Clay. Don't think that's what the kind of clearance he was aiming for. Zebras Sorry, the Knights keeping 4 players in attack. So hopefully get the Zebras on the break, but they've got to get the ball first. Naden, he's managed to keep it in. Muller, Walsh was clearly offside. One last chance coming up here for the Knights, you would imagine. Hester implored to take it. And it just goes to Clay, who probably should just whack it up the field and does. Lazinski wins the header. Brown probably won't win against Harutza and doesn't. Muller. Stankovic. Pace keeps possession well to Yonezawa, who's hit that somewhere in the sky. Sanders wins it. Warrener goes towards Naden, who should go the first time flick. Harutza. Look at the watch from referee Nathan Coe, but doesn't blow the whistle just yet. Muller aiming for the corner. It should be Knights, and it is. Wants to take it quickly. It is Young. Clay. Or just someone take it. The Knights want to have any chance of scoring. Lazinski. Caught in a sandwich twice. Still in play. Naden. Little. It's come off Little's shin. Naden takes it quickly in the Marnie direction. Dillon. Little. Young. There's so much spin on that ball. No one can control it. But it is the Zebras that end up victorious. Here at KG5, 2-1 over there. Traditional rivals, the Glenorchy Knights. It's a game that in particular reached really great heights in terms of passing and play. It doesn't matter for the Zebras faithful. They'll be happy with their 2 goals. Both scored in the first half, one after 12 seconds. From the Colonel Sanders. The Knights got one back late with a deflected Jade Clay shot. But that was all she wrote. It'll be Dillon that gets the assist. Sanders on hand. Johnny on the spot to whack that one home. That was the first goal of the match. Zebras. Look, it really was played, if not on their own terms, but how they would have liked it. Hughes-Lutz through ball, probably the moment of quality for the night. Pace as well, doing well to knock it home. Made it 2-0, and for the most of the game, that happened at about the 20-odd minute mark. The rest of the game was pretty steady going. Zebras rarely threatened. Then, out of absolutely nothing, Clay whacks it into the back of Hay, and it flies into the corner, possibly giving Zebras some impetus, the Knights some impetus to push on. And it wasn't to be. The Zebras run out 2-1 winners. As we said, join us again at Lightwood Park tomorrow night. It'll be Kingmere Lions down at the Den, a huge quadruple header down at the Den. They'll play the Warriors at 6 o'clock. We'll be there. Do tune in if you can't make it down the Southern Outlet. From Slice of Cheese, at the foggiest game of football I've ever seen in Tasmania. Paul Hunt signing off. Thank you to the rest of the team up here in the sparse media box for braving the cold as well. It's been an interesting night. It's one in which the Zebras are victorious.